Hello, everyone. This is Jay Dobbins, your host of the Marvel DC Universe Fan Club. We are now at episode 119, and I'll be discussing two topics. One, X-Men Dark Phoenix, Dark Phoenix, to be the last, well, likely to be the last of Fox's X-Men movies. And of course, the second topic is Noah Hawley's Doctor Doom movie is written, but don't expect to see it anytime soon. So let's start with the first topic, which involves X-Men Dark Phoenix. So, Disney's pending acquisition of 20th Century Fox and its precious entertainment assets will completely overhaul the media landscape that much we know, but it's looking increasingly likely that we'll begin to see the ramifications of said merger sooner rather than later. At least, that's according to Brent Andrew, of Bleeding Cool, of course, who was allegedly in the right place at the right time, read a college lecture featuring high-level Fox production crew members to gather intel about the the Mouse House's future plans for the X-Men now that the acquisition is almost complete, pretty much. So treat this unverified scoop as just that, but it seems 20th Century Fox and Disney have agreed upon one thing. Dark Phoenix will be the final X-Men movie to release under Fox. Before those mutants, Deadpool and the Fantastic Four included, are hoovered up by Kevin Feige, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe in time for Phase 4, which is expected to kick off soon after the release of Avengers 4 in 2019. So it's certainly interesting, of course, if a little implausible. So for one, Comic Genre's report doesn't allude to the New Mutants or Gambit whatsoever. Though it should be noted that each movie will likely release as a standalone product that exists outside of the current X-Men continuity. So, should that hold true, Dark Phoenix will be tasked with bringing the curtain down on Fox's acclaimed prequel saga. It's also being reported that the pick is facing a difficult time in production, with sources claiming that the SFX team has been forced to digitally recreate entire sets that were dismantled once the initial bouts of filming had been completed. So, suffice it to say, there's plenty here to chew on for X-Men fans, of course. So, who are now keeping one eye trained on May 18th? Well, nah, forget about that part. But, so, if you were, nah, forget it. But yeah, for those, I strongly, for those who haven't seen Deadpool yet, you might want to see that now. So, since it was out on May 18th. So, but anyway, that concludes this topic, of course. And now I want to do topic number 2, which is Noah Hawley's Doctor Doom movie is written, of course, but don't expect to see it anytime soon. So, um, so geeks with a taste for the highbrow were amped last year with Legion and Fargo. Amateur Noah Hawley announced that he was working on a film starring, um, sorry, yeah, that's right, the world's greatest supervillain, Marvel's Doctor Doom for Fox. The hooded baddie was made a few screen appearances before in four attempts at the movie. Uh, at a movie about his arch foes, the Fantastic Four. But this would be a solo outing for the Bad Doctor. So Harvey further whetted appetites when he said he wanted his Doom picture to be a political thriller about the travails of the character who is typically depicted as the monarch of the fictional Eastern European country of Lat- Latveria. Um, Anyone looking for something more substantial in their superhero fare has a cause to be intrigued by this particular project. Now, we got good news and bad news. Good news, uh, Haley has finished, well, he has a finished screenplay. So, and he said, and I quote, I wrote a script that I really like and the studio really likes, end quote. So this is what he told Vulture, pretty much. Then he also adds, it needs a little work. The bad news is, of course, that it's not getting filmed in the near future. Hawley said there are a pair of roadblocks. The first is the fact that he's about to direct Natalie Portman and John Hamm in the astronaut drama Pale Blue. Dot, of course. Speaking about revisions to the Doom script, Hawley says, and I quote, it's hard for me at this exact moment because I start shooting another movie in 5 weeks to do that work, you know. So, I mean, my hope is to go back to the Doom movie after Pale Blue Dot, end quote. So, the other barricade is a corporate one. As of now, Fox holds the movie rights to the Fantastic Four franchise, which includes Doom. As you may have heard, Disney, the parent company of Marvel Comics, might devour Fox. But then again, the funny thing is, you know, it was already confirmed that, you know, Fox, was bought by Disney. I mean, well, 20th Century Fox, rather. So that's, I don't know, it's kind of weird. But anyway, so, which would mean Disney's Marvel Studios, the folks who make the Avengers movies, would suddenly have access to the Fantastic Four and their eternal nemesis. The merger is very much up in the air at this point, and Hawley's Latvian project is up there with it. I know there's also a little uncertainty given the potential for a Disney merger and the fact that Marvel may regain control of X-Men and Fantastic Four, he says. In that quote. Yeah. But yeah, actually, the beginning quote was, I know that there is a little more certainty, blah blah blah. But yeah. But yeah, that's what he said pretty much. Um, they may have, they may have a plan of their own in a desk drawer. I just don't know. So, and I think there's a sort of sense of uncertainty. So this is, that's what he said pretty much. Nevertheless, Doom facing down the Beyonder in the first Secret Wars crossover, Holly remains optimistic in the face of these long odds. And he said, and I quote, I think the studio would like to make it, he says. And then that's the end of that quote. But in another quote, he stated that I think we're all just trying to figure out how and when we're going to do that. Blah. End quote. So that concludes this episode. Feel free to visit us, like us on Facebook. We are available on iTunes and the Google Play Music app.